Welcome, welcome everyone. And let me see. I don't have everything completely set up right. Such is life, right? It is Tuesday morning. That means it is Mitch live stream time. And that means we're going to share some very valuable content all wrapped around the concept of Thank You Page Magic. So I'm looking forward to helping you understand some new stuff today. Many of you know, and there's my plaque back there on the floor. You can't see the plaque. I want to test this. Let's see, does this work? I think it worked. All right. um, Thank You Page Magic. The idea of Thank You Page Magic is that you want to find some brand new people for your business and you want to invite them in by asking the people that already know, like, and trust you, or maybe have just signed up for you to go ask somebody else. Everybody who opts into what you're offering probably knows somebody else, and therefore asking those people to come into your world is going to help you grow your business. So that's what we talk about on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, right here. Now, for those people who are in my Mitch Magic membership, we have some special bonuses and they know how to go get to those. And I've got more coming very soon to be added for those of you who are here. Shout out, let me know that you're here. Please tell me you're here. I see people popping in and I appreciate you being here. I got a little counter here for those of you who don't know. There's a little counter just like you get on Zoom and other tools to show you how many people are here. You don't get to see that, I get to see that. So sound off in the comments. Let me know you're here. I'm actually kind of, you know, you watch what's going on, at least I hope you do, and maybe somebody will notice that there's a gap right up there. And I forgot about that. I grabbed um, the bookend that was sitting up there to hold up some books on my desk because I spent a whole bunch of time cleaning up my office over the weekend. Yay! My mind is so much clearer now. Although I also know that there's some bills that are missing. But I've tried to log into the Facebook group over here on this computer and that's not working. So good Lord. Tech challenges today. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. That's why that's not working. I got keyboards all over the place. I got all kinds of stuff going on. And look at that. Claudia's here. Welcome, Claudia. So Claudia says, I am here. Great to see you, Claudia, and thank you for commenting, showing people the way. And then there is a new friend, Jerome Dave. Check your whisper. That's over on Twitch. I don't know anything about Twitch, really. I'm broadcasting there, but I don't really know anything. And you're probably going to try to sell me something. I don't know. Maybe you have a serious question you want me to check out. But thank you for being here, Jerome, and thank you for commenting. How are the rest of you doing? We're going to have I think, an interesting topic today. Did anybody pay attention to what I was going to talk about? I'm trying to do things for different audiences. Many of you who may be just coming to talk to me and learn about Thank You Page Magic are in like phase 2. There are 5 stages from what I have put together. Let's see if I can quickly bring that up. That's at the very end somewhere. So there are 5 stages. Let's see, I found it. Let's see if it comes up. That's always the struggle. And so I use a tool called Ecamm. And sometimes you have to kind of warm up Ecamm, and I didn't have enough time this morning to warm up Ecamm. So let me do this so you can see them better. So there are, what I'm saying are 5 stages of Thank You Page Magic. If you're an entrepreneur, you have no idea what's going on. You're over in stage 1. Stage 2 is the apprentice stage, which is where many of you go become stage 2 if you've attended my webinar. Stage 3 is the magician. The magician is starting to automate stuff, and Claudia's in the magician phase, for example. She's learning how to use UpViral. She's getting started and inviting people into her world. And then as you go to stage 4, you become much more of an expert. Stage 5, as a sorcerer, you could probably be teaching this kind of material to your audience. So those are the stages, as I like to call them, and that's supposed to go away. There it goes. In stage 3, as I mentioned, you are probably familiar with UpViral. UpViral is the tool of my choice to run contests, giveaways, and frankly, almost all of my Thank You Page Magic stuff is done inside of UpViral. And that's because they do a really good job of gamifying, of automating the processes and making it engaging to invite those people. So I mentioned earlier that you want to start inviting new people into your world. There's a whole bunch of reasons. I've covered that in previous episodes. And the tool UpViral has this ability to gamify the process, to make it fun, engaging, and to invite these people into your world, which is absolutely what we want to have happening. So, typically, UpViral has been a tool that has been based on contests. They still market the heck out of using UpViral for contests, and by that I mean sweepstakes and giveaways. Something where you are offering a prize to a small number of winners, hoping to collect email addresses from those people who want to win the prizes. When you're in stage 3, you are just starting to figure out how all these processes work. Hopefully, and I know Claudia has already run 1 or 2 campaigns, maybe 3, and you've got to figure out how to do things like, how do I pick a winner? How do I contact the winners when the campaign is over? How do I tell the people what's happened? How do I tell the people that didn't win what to do? So those are the things we're going to cover in this particular episode. Hopefully, by the way, I would love to have you in my Mitch Magic membership. If you haven't heard about that, you can go over to this link and find out some more information. I'm going to be adding some more to this in the near future, but if you go to thankyoupagemagic.com/MitchMagic, or you grab your smartphone really quickly and jump on that URL that's in that QR code, then you can go over and find out about the membership. And the membership, by the way, includes all the recordings of all of these episodes and some special bonuses as a quick summary. Now, one of the joys of the membership is the fact that all of these episodes are searchable. So, for example, when I mentioned Jerome Dave, if he wants to come back 3 weeks later and he's in the membership, he can come in and he can search to find out where I happen to mention him. And if I gave an answer to a question or something, you can come in and you get right exactly to the moment where we had that conversation. So the searchability, which is a brand new feature that not very many tools have. So what they do is they quickly index all of the text and they make it a searchable index, and they have throughout all the videos that you have access to, you can come in and you can search for your name and get answers. Something that I think is a great benefit for you. That's a tool called Searchy. Now, I've mentioned several tools, by the way. If you want to jump over and see my recommendations for tools, then please jump over to mitch.tools and you will get into the listing of the different tools. Some of them are affiliate links, so I will get a little bit of income to help feed my family if you happen to select some of those tools. I am also planning on expanding that list with some additional training. So some of these tools, for example, like Searchy, the tool I was talking about with the videos, you are able to get in and search things, and that is a fantastic tool. Of course, I'm an affiliate for that. And if you end up having something like what you want in your world is a membership of some kind, you might want to consider using Searchy. So Mitch.tools is the place to go see all of that wonderful stuff. I'm jumping over to my show notes for today. I want to make sure that I cover everything that I intended to cover, right? We don't want to miss anything. And if you have any questions, please don't be shy about popping in and asking. That's what the comments are for. That's why you attend live, which, by the way, every Tuesday, I am here for that. I'm looking down to see. I don't have a current. Oh, I do. If you go to thankypagemagic.com/calendar, then you can see what's coming up in my world, including the podcasts with Bradley. Tomorrow's podcast, by the way, you may want to tune in. We actually have a topic. You don't always have a topic before we do the show. And this week, we actually have a topic planned, which was something that we were going to talk about last week and didn't have time, so we've bumped it to this week. And the topic is, what 3 things should you be doing for this fall for your marketing to gain more leads in your business? I'm also getting notifications, so I have to turn on my focus for an hour so I'm not disturbed by all these bells and whistles going off. Hope you don't hear them. Okay, so let us get started. The first thing I'm going to talk about, any questions before we go? Always, you have the ability to type in questions. Just let me know at any time, which I mentioned, by the way, is one of the benefits of attending live. You get to ask me questions. All right, so why on God's green earth would you be doing a contest? Contests are a great way of getting new leads. Now, I have heard over and over and over and over and over from people out there on the planet that nobody wants to run a contest because the leads that you get are junk. They are people that do not want to buy. They're just looking to get the free thing. I have talked about this till I'm blue in the face. A lot of people believe me and a lot of people don't. The people that have run contests, I'll talk about Jenna, for example. Jenna, I can't come up with her last name right now. Jenna ran a contest which absolutely flopped. She got lots of leads, but she said those people never bought. Now, she and I were working together for a while, and she wanted to run another contest. So we sat and we recorded the entire thing where I sat down, worked with her for almost 2 hours to come up with a new contest that she could run for her business. She was going to have an event in Texas, which is where she is, and she wanted to be able to bring in people that were interested in what her services are. After about 30 minutes of me working with her, one of the very first things we talked about was selecting the right prize. And guess what her response was? She said, no wonder nobody opted, or when they opted into my list, they wouldn't buy my services. I was offering the wrong freaking prize. And so I suspect that the vast majority of people out there on the planet that have run contests and had maybe lots of leads or even a small amount of leads, and they get no purchasers out of that list, are because they offered the wrong offer. They did not put the right prize up for offer. That's the first struggle with contests. People don't know what the right offer is. Now, if you happen to be a member, excuse me, my nose itches. If you happen to be a member and you go to, excuse me, if you're on my email newsletter, and if you're not, you should be. Here's how to, oops, that's not it. That's the wrong one, Mitch. This is the right one. If you go to joinmitch.com, you can get on my newsletter. Highly recommend that you're on my list, please. Because that's where all the good stuff happens. And once you join my newsletter, I also send you access to MitchMagic.com. Now, MitchMagic.com has a lot of really cool stuff on it. It has links over to Mitch Tools. It has links on how to contact me. It has basically everything that I am offering, either free or paid, is available on MitchMagic.com. And I'm still working on that. It's under construction. It's been under construction for several months. And I know Claudia has suggested to me that I need to have one place to have everything. And there it is. MitchMagic.com will be the place where everything that I do exists. The membership that I've just spoken about lives in MitchMagic.com. There is in MitchMagic.com something new called Mitch's Gift. In Mitch's Gift, I have several tools to help you get started on picking the right offer. Now, I also have an entire course that's available on planning your campaign, picking the right offer, all that kind of stuff. That's available in MitchMagic, I think, .com. I'd have to look at that. But it will be there if it's not there right now. One of my members in my mastermind, for example, which is called Movers Mastermind, we meet twice a week, by the way, and we work specifically in a group format, group coaching, but the members in the mastermind come and help. We help each other craft our marketing. So if you're struggling a little bit on one side of your stuff, then maybe somebody that's in the call that week can help you with that. So we have lots of stuff going on there. Anyway, Tiff Nicole is one of my very active members in the mastermind. And by the way, the people in the mastermind get access to everything that I offer. There's another great reason to be in the mastermind, besides the group coaching. But she actually went through the planning course, what I call the planning course, the campaign. Even though she's been in the mastermind for over a year, she went through that course a couple of months ago and she said, Mitch, this is amazing. You need to be selling this. I'm like, yeah, I am trying to sell that. I just don't tell enough people about it. So anyway, I got all kinds of content over there in MitchMagic. Plans, but go over there and grab the gift. Tell me, and I'm working on improvements to that. I just lost my virtual assistant. She actually went and got a job, so now I have to go get another virtual assistant. If anybody happens to know a virtual assistant, I'm kind of in the market looking for somebody. But the gift has all these things in it, and I'm trying to improve that. Long story. It will help you pick the right offer. Let me just move on from that. I think I've beaten that one to death. Now, let's suppose you're going to give away your particular training course. Pluses and minuses for doing that, and we've talked over and over about doing multiple campaigns and doing testing and all that kind of stuff. But what your intention is to give away your course. Let's say it's a course you're giving away. Let's also suppose you're familiar with my 3-prize strategy. And if you go through my planning course, you'll get a whole lot of information about that too. I know I have it in this listing. It's probably right here. It's not right there. Oh. So I'm looking down at my Stream Deck. I have on my Stream Deck about 200 presentation slides that I do when I do presentations in my webinars and stuff. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to get to a specific slide that I wanted to show you. And that is, I thought was right there, but it's not. So I apologize. Dadgummit. When you got that many slides, it can be hard to find the one you're after. This is it. I knew it was in here. So this is the slide that I want to show for how to so what I suggest to many people is to do what I call the prize triangle, the magic triangle. The top part of the chart has to do with other pieces of the thank you page magic flow. And what you see at the very top is the lead page, the opt-in page on the left, and the thank you page on the right. And as they do things, either on registering people or referring people, the little atomic symbols there in the white diamonds, you are earning points in order to make that happen. Okay, so people earn points. Those points are usually I equate to chances to win a specific prize. And at some point, you got to draw the winners. Now, inside your contest, and I think, let's see, should I do that now? While I'm talking, I'm going to go open this because I think I need to bring it up fairly soon. I'm going to use one of the UpViral campaigns. So I'm going to briefly show you UpViral itself. If it will actually do something. There it goes. And I'm sorry, I have to drag something out of the way and go into here. All right, so let's switch out of this. I really need more things on my Stream Deck. Dadgummit. Because now I gotta make that thing go away. The magic triangle go away. Go away, there it is. Hi, there I am. So inside of UpViral, they have this section. So I'm inside one of their templates, the sweepstakes template gift thing. In step number 2 of the setup, they have something called rewards. The first box at the top of the page, they call the grand prize. I struggle with UpViral's choices here in that the grand prize, if I click on edit, the grand prize really sort of is intended to just be one thing. Now, you can set it for, I always set this at manually, by the way. You can set it for most points or at random. And I'm not going to go through much of that right this second. But then you can select how many winners. And then you can select the date in which you want them to win. And you can close the campaign if you want. The struggle is that this only lists one prize, a grand prize. And that's great if you're only offering one prize. And maybe you have 4 winners of that one prize. But what if you want to do my strategy, and I'm going to come back to, now that I know where this chart is, I'm going to come back to the 3 prize strategy, the magic triangle. And notice at the center diamond that says draw winners, I have three circles that come out of that. The left one says weighted draw. The bottom one says most points. And the one on the far right at the bottom says user that referred the winner. So typically what I want people to do is to do a random draw. That was the left bubble on the bottom. The weighted draw means that if Betty Lou has 100 points and everybody else in the contest has 10, then Betty Lou has 10 times the number of chances to win the contest as everybody else. So it's weighted in favor of those people who have lots of points. They get lots of chances to win, which is the entire point of getting points and getting entries. Okay, now, the second option on the magic triangle at the bottom is most points. Now, when you look at UpViral selection, there is manual, which we'll talk about that in a second. There is most points, which is this one. And then there's at random. So at random was the one that I talked about that was on the left. Most points is the one that's at the bottom of that chart. Most points simply means the person that has the most points wins, which is a great thing to do when you are trying to encourage people to really refer lots of other people. The struggle with that is that somebody who's like Betty Lou, who only has 3 friends in the entire planet, she has a difficult time winning anything that's a most points prize. So if she knows that up front, she's never going to even freaking enter. She knows she will not win, so why bother? And I have seen that over and over when I've talked to people about entering contests. They say, well, if it's most points, I'm not going. Now, the other thing that I constantly tell people is that if you're running a contest and Betty Lou enters the contest, how many people does Betty Lou want to have in the campaign? She wants to have one person, right? Herself. She doesn't naturally want to refer others because she wants to be the only person in the fishbowl. She wants to be the only person at the end of the week. If you go to a restaurant and you drop your name in the little fishbowl at the cash register, she doesn't want any other business cards in there. She wants to be the only name in the pot. So we have to encourage her to find ways of bringing other people in, and that's with the point system, and to tell them constantly how many points they have, how many entries, how many chances to win the prize, how many names they have in the pot, so they can flood the pot and have more entries than anybody else. So the last thing that I have in my magic triangle on the bottom right is the user that referred the winner. So what you tell Betty Lou is, hey, if you invite your friends and Paula signs up, we gave you 10 points for registering, but we're going to give you 100 entries for every person you refer. Now we're trying to take away the pain of referring others. That's why this 3-prize strategy works so well. We're encouraging the people with the most points that want to be able to earn. We're encouraging the people that are able to refer others. We're giving them ways to stuff the ballot box. And we're giving people that just want one chance to win the prize, the random draw, and they have a chance to win the prize. So that strategy, the magic triangle strategy, I'll put it back up, is a fantastic way of getting people to refer others, people to enjoy themselves while playing in the contest, and have ways of possibly winning. Now, you're not going to let one person win all 3 ways. If they have the most points, then they're not included in the random draw, and they're not included in the your friend wins, you win too, right? So again, let me know if you have any questions while you're here. Happy to answer questions. So how do you pick those? Well, you can't use this tool because you can't do at random and you can't do most points at the same time and you can't do manually. So this tool essentially is useless to you. Also because I don't want the tool doing it, I want me to do it. I lecture about this all the time. Do not let UpViral pick winners for you automatically, and do not let UpViral send emails to winners. You want to be in control of this process. I have known several campaigns where something happened accidentally, where the tool has sent multiple people a prize pay email, and I know they've fixed these issues, but I just don't want to risk it. I manually send out emails. I do not let UpViral send any emails to winners automatically. I recognize that that's a great feature when you know, like, and trust UpViral. If you're running a weekly campaign, maybe you want that to be taken off of your bucket list, to-do list. But my recommendation, especially if you're first starting out, is to send those out manually. All right. Excuse me. So, I should have just stayed where I was. I'm going to go back to the desktop, and I'm going to go over here too. So I said, don't do this part, right? So I'm going to do cancel. And up here at the top for every campaign is a winners tab. This is how you manually do it when the campaign is over. Now, theoretically, I'm pausing because I really thought they took this message away. This is not supposed to be here. This is a mistake. So ignore that. That's when it threw me. Threw me for a second. I'm like, this is supposed to not be here because they're not automatically choosing a winner. Anyway, so you come to the winners tab. Let's suppose that you set a campaign end date on that previous grand prize page. The contest has closed itself. And so what you come in here and you say, well, I want to pick more winners. Now, the very first thing you do when you get here, and I advise all of my students and all of my mastermind members, and I check this inside their campaigns, before I click any of this stuff, I say, all right, first thing you got to do is go back to setup, and you got to go back to the communication tab, and you got to go to the rewards section, and you got to make sure this is turned off. Please, 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 please make sure this is turned off. And that's my caveat, because look, I just discovered that this is turned on. They turn it on by default, which I prefer not to do. Please turn this off. Please, 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 please turn this off. For many reasons. The first reason being, hey, I want to test how this winner process works. So now I'm going to pick on select winners. Excuse me. Unfortunately, I don't think anybody's registered for this because it was just something that I just cloned, and it's not really a live campaign. So if I do most points, how many winners, I'm going to pick one. I'm going to click next. Notice I did register, so there is one person. I got 1030 points. 1030. And if I click accept, and if that switch was turned on, an email would go out to that winner saying they won a prize. This is one of the reasons why I hate that button. Please make sure to have that turned off. Now, if I click accept, this is a great thing. If you've got a multiple people, then you now see that Mitch at thankyouPageMagic.com won the prize. And notice you can unpick the prize winner if you want. I have to move something out of the way. There's also an unpick all winners up here at the top. There's also still pick more winners, so you can pick more winners if you want. All of these are great features. But you can't play with this if that email is going out to winners. Make sure that is turned off. Notice that UpViral is also tracking your selections down here. You will see this, and this is very valuable, not only for them when there might be concerns, but it's also good for you because then you can see what you've done. Maybe it was just testing, but maybe it's real winners. So plenty of good stuff here. Now notice if I click on Mitch, when you see the lead details, and even in the other screens where the lead details are, you'll see that it says winner. And if you happen to run multiple campaigns and this particular email address is in those other campaigns, you will see at the bottom of this list down here, other campaigns, you'll see the other campaigns that this person's in. And if they're a winner, you would see that. So it's very helpful to actually mark people as winners when you totally understand that emails are not going out and you can manage this yourself. So I would then, at this point, send an email to Mitch at ThankYouPageMagic in Gmail or whatever service I'm using, probably my business email address, saying, hey, you won a prize. Right? Yeah, everybody with me? Let me know in the comments if you are keeping up with me, or if you're bored to tears, or if you've left me, or I'm not streaming anymore. All right, I still see people here. All right, the number shows me that people are still here. Great. Now, the next question, of course, is what do you send? When do you send it? This is a struggle. This can be a struggle. Da, 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 da. In my campaigns, I have run over 100 contests. It can be a little difficult for you to notify winners. And you have to be really careful about it. In the United States, once you pick winners, you're legally obligated to interact with those people. Now, typically you only have an email address. Typically you don't have a phone number. You don't typically have another way of contacting them. There's multiple ways, of course, for notifying winners. And here's a great question from Claudia. I was going to cover this, but don't you want the winners and non-winners to attend an event? Hey, that's a fantastic idea. You can do that. That is a great way of doing something. It has caveats to it. It has struggles with it. Why isn't that not going away? Typically what I did was I simply emailed the winners. Let's go with that one first, and then I'll address your question. The struggle with emailing winners is that you have to wait for a reply. Now, members, members in my mastermind, we'll just go that way. Members in my mastermind have a template that I give them to notify people. But my suggestion is you give the winners 3 days. And I even put this in the terms and conditions, which they typically agree to when they opt in for the contest. And in the terms and conditions, it says winners will be notified by email and will have 3 days to respond before we move on to the next winner. The struggle here is if you're doing this methodology, you got to get in touch with them. And by the way, the next step is they have to confirm they want to be a winner. In the United States, you have to send them an affidavit and say, in the affidavit says, I agree to win the prize, because they are then accepting the responsibility of paying taxes. That's not necessarily true in the rest of the world. You have to pay attention to your own laws. It's also one of the reasons why some people say you should never run an international campaign, because the laws are all different. That's a whole nother topic. But you have to, and this again is my experience from running over 100 contests, you gotta set some limits. Because if you don't set the limits and you don't tell them what the limits are, somebody's gonna come along 5 weeks later and go, oh, I found this in my spam and you said I won, so give me my damn prize. Which may cause you financial distress, right? Depending upon what your prizes are. If it's just your course, then maybe it's not such a big deal. So when you are doing the email method, you have to time limit things. You have to send, once they reply to you, you then have to send them the affidavit and say, you agree to win. Typically, what I do is I also ask them for permission to post their image. I ask them to send me a prize picture or something, because I want to use it in marketing, which, by the way, you should put in the terms and conditions as well. And then hopefully they reply. I have had one situation where somebody replied to me and said, hey, I was on vacation for a week and I went totally off the books. And this is what makes me nervous. I don't want somebody to be upset, and I certainly don't want somebody to sue me saying, well, I won. So you've got to do your terms and conditions, and you've got to be really clear, because you don't want somebody coming back to you and suing your fanny for doing something inappropriately. Also, by the way, when I'm doing that winner selection, I screen record it. I cover my fanny. So, Claudia's question, I'll come back to that question. Don't you want the winners and non-winners to attend an event? That's a great way of announcing winners. Because notice, I haven't even, with the email selection process, I haven't sent anybody that didn't win an email. There is so much to know, right? All right. So yes, Claudia, you can tell everybody that let's say the contest ends on Sunday. You can say we will be holding an event on Monday to announce the winners. You can even select them live if you want to. I would never show them the screen, because here's one of my other struggles with letting UpViral do the automated thing or whatever. Sometimes there are people who are scammers in your contest. When I select the winners, I go in and I look at all the data that UpViral has about them. I look to see if they referred other people, and if those people look like they're real legit people. If they cheated or whatever, I don't want them winning the prize. This is one of the reasons why I dislike live winner selections. It's great if you can pre-select the winners and just do an announcement, which is possibly what Claudia is talking about, because then you can do all of the upfront work. I happen to know that there's a very big contest that does live winner selection. I saw one a couple of months ago that was horrific and very embarrassing from an outsider's viewpoint, because they were, quote, giving away a Tesla. Now, it turns out they were only giving away a lease for a Tesla for 3 years, which is very different than you walking away with a Tesla. Still, free car for 3 years. I get it. I understand. But their restrictions were that you had to be live on the call and you had to call in order to win the prize. But they selected the winners, and then they waited for a few minutes for the winners to call, and when the winner didn't call, then they had to go to the next person. And it went on for 30 minutes while they were trying to select a winner. And then when they did select a winner, it turned out that the winner couldn't pay the taxes on the free car for a year, so they had to pick somebody else. And so you gotta plan your live event, and you gotta be able to handle all of these things. It was incredibly embarrassing. It just went on and on and on, and I hated watching it. Now, if you can pre-select the winners, and what I have seen done in a live event is that the owner of the campaign selects a winner the day before, calls the winner, because what if they're not home, right? What if they're not there? Calls the winner, records the call, and then plays that live as if it happened right then and there. But there's all kinds of issues with that as well. So if you're running a campaign, technically it's much easier to just pick winners. Now, the struggle with that, going back to that email thing, is the idea of the winner or the losers sitting around going, well, did he pick a winner? Did he pick a winner? Did he pick a winner? Who won? Because you can't send the winner email until the winner's confirmed, because you want to send the email that says Betty Lou was prize winner number 1, Paula was prize winner number 2, Claudia was prize winner number 3, so that you can identify those people and maybe even have some quotes about, oh, I'm so excited, to send out with the email, right? So there are several really big issues with making this happen. And doing it all live can be very difficult. Not saying you don't want to try it, but I suspect you really want to make sure you know what you're doing and have the ability to handle those situations. Now, I have a really cool process where I can make sure the people that are on the call re-register to be able to win. I got some really interesting side projects. We obviously can't go through those here because there's too much to go through. I have the ability to connect an UmpViral opt-in, for example, to wheelofnames.com. You can pick winners live that way. There's all kinds of things you can do. Do you want people to show up on a call? That's a great option. If you say winner must be present to win, is where I really start struggling over trying to ensure, because technically, and again, you have to put that in the terms and conditions when they register. They have to agree that they understand that, because some people are going to get really mad. Say, well, you didn't tell me I had to be present to win, especially if they found out that the random draw picked them somehow. You see what I'm saying? There are issues with doing these things live. It is a good advantage, a good reason to have an event, but my recommendation is that you pick the winners before you get there. You have confirmation from them that they're willing to be prize winners, and then you just announce it, and then you tell everybody that didn't win, hey, by the way, I have a special offer for you. I got 40% off on this blah, blah, blah. You didn't win the free blah, 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 so here's a bonus for you for attending. You've got to give them some kind of a bonus. You don't have to. I recommend it. But otherwise, they're going to go away feeling disappointed. If you can make people feel appreciated, they are going to be much more likely in the long run to buy from you down the road. All right, does that all make sense? Claudia, did that answer help or hurt? I'm trying to get back to my notes for the show. Now, the winner's affidavit, by the way, like I mentioned before, if you're in my mastermind, not the membership, but the mastermind, I have a winner's affidavit that I use that you can have as a template. I do recommend that you send out an email after the campaign, even if you're doing the live event, because not everybody's going to attend the live event. Give the winners, give the losers something to win. The owner of Viper Software, Jack Paxton, tells people to say, oh, you're the 4th place winner. Let's suppose you had 3. You are the 4th place winner. He actually sends out an email, and the title is, you are the 4th place winner of Contest XYZ. Now, you don't have to tell them that every person that entered the contest is a 4th place winner. You don't have to tell them that. But then you give them this coupon or this discount like you did maybe the live people if you did a live event. But you give them the opportunity to buy from you. If you can give them a coupon, you want buyers, right? David Fraser, who is the Bunky guy, and you've possibly seen David. He was on the Copilot show as a guest. He is in the case studies in UpViral. He does a 3-day sale at the end of his contest. Now he's giving away, depending upon what year it is, his product is an $11,000 product, and he's giving one of those away. So he gets a lot of interest in his campaign. The last one he did was 150,000 leads. So he trying to sell this thing that he's giving away. And so what he says is, oh, by the way, and he does this during the campaign, so everybody knows it's coming because he wants people to have in their mind that if they don't win, they are going to get a bonus. But he does a 3-day sale with like 20 or 30% off his $2,000 off, whatever, off of his product. He's still making money, but that's how he fills his summer of sales. He always does it in February by giving this major sale. Everybody knows it's coming, but they feel good at the end of the contest because they got their name in there. They have the chance to buy the thing at a big discount. David's happy because he's making sales. The people are happy because they're getting a discount. So you want to make everybody happy. Whatever you can do to make everybody a winner is a wonderful thing. And thank you, Claudia. Claudia says, great tips if a live event has homework done before that. That's my recommendation, is to make sure trying to pick winners live is scary as hell. You just don't know what's going to happen. Are you able to roll with the punches? Are you able to, let's say that Betty Lou gets selected, but she's not really there, right? Maybe you say, hey, you pick the winner live and you say you must be present to win, and Betty Lou finds out that she was picked live, and she says, well, that you must be present to win is a stupid thing. I'm going to sue you unless you give me the prize. So then you got to, either go to court if she goes really pushy about it. I tend to want people to just be happy. I don't want them to be mad at me. So off she goes. I give Betty Lou the same thing that. But again, I'm not typically giving away an $11,000 prize. So especially if this thing that you're giving away costs you out of your pocket, you want to be very careful. Now, I'm not currently logged in. I suspect that if it's true that Steven, yes, you're a winner. Everybody's a winner. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody knows that meme, right? Oprah Winfrey. So the last thing that I did want to mention is that even if you're not doing a contest, some of these things may apply. Some of these things could be beneficial to you if you're doing a webinar. And yes, I have seen, and I haven't done one yet, but I intend to do a webinar where I give away a prize. And I intend to do live draws on that webinar. And I will use Wheel of Names to make that happen. People will have to be present to win. You can do this kind of contest in non-contest events. If you have a funnel for a product launch formula, for example, if you know Jeff Walker, Jeff Walker's product launch formula is a series of videos. You do a new video every day, and at the end, you have a sale. You could do a contest. If you've ever looked at Gabe Schillinger's case study in UpViral, he runs a contest and a sale at the same time. There are ways that you can combine these things, which is, again, one of the reasons why I use UpViral, because many of the other tools won't let you combine these things into one type of a campaign. UpViral has its struggles, but it also has its major benefits that some of the other tools don't have. So again, by the way, if you don't have UpViral, if you're one of the people out there that is just learning about what I'm doing with Thank You Page Magic, and you decide you want to poke around in UpViral, please go to buyupviral.com. Use that QR code there if you have a quick second to grab your phone and to shoot that in there. But buyupviral.com is my site where I get an affiliate commission if you go ahead and purchase UpViral, which helps feed the people outside my office, my family. So let me know if you have any questions. Happy to answer quick questions if you have any. I am very energetic and modest about these topics. I have spent the last 8 years of my life learning everything there is to know about contests and lead magnets and giveaways and webinars and all of these things to be able to figure out how you can gamify your processes. I'm not using something like ClickFunnels anymore. I am using UpViral to manage my lead magnets, my opt-ins, my webinars. I am tying all these things together with one tool. I don't need a multiple page funnel fancy thing to do what I'm doing. And that's what I'm showing you every week, and how to implement these things in your business to grow your leads so that you can grow your income, so that you can serve more people and have more impact on the world. I know Claudia sure wants that. She wants to help people with plant-based weight loss during menopause. It's her thing. That's her specialty, her secret sauce. She's been through it. If you go look at her bio, you're like, holy crap, she knows what she's talking about. These are the kind of things that will help you grow your business, because Claudia wants to serve more of that audience. I know she does. We've talked about it. These are great tools, and they don't cost you an arm and a leg. You do have some learning you got to do, but that's why you've got me. Again, if you're interested in the simple membership, go over to this, thankyouPageMagic.com/MitchMagic. Quickly swipe your smartphone and take a photo of that, or use the Photos app to use the QR code. I'm going to wrap this up in about 20 to 30 seconds. So if you have a question, Please type the letter Q and hit go. Highly advise you to jump in the membership because there are bonuses and benefits, and it's only $37 a month. It's cheap, 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 cheap. It's going to be going up to $47.97 somewhere in the near future because the benefits of doing this, it's not a shiny object. I've shown you over and over and over. Pardon me. Referred leads are 4 times more likely to buy than somebody you get through normal advertising or marketing. So why aren't we going after these referred leads? I also tell you, if you don't have UpViral and you go to the UpViral pricing page and you go, well, it's $79 a month. It only takes 79 new leads on your list at the $1 per lead per month that the marketing industry says is a standard for your email newsletters going out. $1 per person per month. So you can pay for UpViral for all of eternity if you just add 79 people to your email list. It's paid for. So many people look at that number and go, I can't afford that. You can't afford not to be doing this. So jump over onto my list. Make sure you're on my list. I assume that's Steven, and I'm sorry I'm not logged in. If it's not Steven, I'm sorry. I appreciate you, whoever that is. Also said, fantastic. Thank you for those kind words. Tomorrow is the Bradley and I podcast. This same place where you see me right now, we will be here at the same time. Oh, it's Mick. Thanks, Mick. Is it Mick or Mike? Come on, help me. Help me. Tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Bradley and I are going to be talking about 3 things you need to be doing in your marketing to bring in new word-of-mouth leads this fall. That's the topic for tomorrow. Next week is the 4th week of the month, and therefore I will be doing reviews, specifically highlighting if any of the members have campaigns that they're working on and they want me to look at. We will look at those next Tuesday this time. And then, of course, next Wednesday will be the podcast. So those are the things that I have coming up. Again, if you want to see my calendar, you can go to thankyouPageMagic.com/calendar or jump over to MitchMagic.com, which is, you have a login for that. If you're on my list, you should have gotten an email last week about that. And I think that wraps it up. Nobody said they have any questions. Thank you for being here. I hope to catch you tomorrow and next week. As always, thank you so much for your attendance and your listening power. Please tell somebody else about this if you have gained any knowledge that would help them, because they can come in and get the recordings if they want. All right, we'll catch you next week and tomorrow.
Hey, Mitch, good to hear from you.
It's a perfect ending. I am grateful. Grateful to get away.
Good day.
I'll be back.